players are concerned, there's not many that were better in the world than Baggio, as far as his technique, as far as the elegance, as far as his ability to beat people in the dribble, to change pace, his ability to pass. All those things are, again, Pirlo plus, right? We give Pirlo so many kudos about the way he's played, the way he dictates tempo, but Baggio was that plus, if more efficient in the final third. So as a footballer, he was one of the best, regardless of the winning, regardless of we respect him as a player, and he was one of the best in his position by far.
And did they take him for granted, do you think, later on? Because I know in 2002 he wasn't on the World Cup team, and there was a lot of talk about that at the time, even 2000 and the Euro Cup. Like, do you think it was on bad terms the way he exited the game and didn't really get that respect of being included in some of those legendary teams?
Well, I think that honestly, his injuries were something that weren't as treated as well as they should have been. I think that the pace of the game was evolving. I think that it would have been harder to put him in different situations. And you look at the alternatives at the time. They weren't half the player he was, as far as vision, as far as technique, but physically he was on a downturn, and a lot of people didn't know how bad his knees were. So I think that had a massive reasoning why he it wasn't a lack of respect, but it was just a lack of reality in the situation. I mean, do you leave a Totti out, or do you bring a Baggio? Do you leave a Cassano out at the time? In retrospect, probably, or you bring. So that was the transition where they had the qualities, but they were younger. So he was the grandfather of evolving the Italian player and the Italian game and the 10. But he was also done. His knees, his physically, he was spent.